Nightmare at Raven's Rest truck stop. The rain poured down in sheets as Jake, a weary trucker on a long haul, pulled his rig into Raven's Rest truck stop. The neon sign flickered ominously in the darkness, casting eerie shadows across the deserted parking lot. Jake couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled over him as he stepped out of the cab and made his way towards the dimly lit diner. Pushing open the creaking door, Jake was greeted by the scent of grease and stale coffee. The diner was dimly lit, and the only other patrons were a group of rough-looking locals huddled in a corner booth, their eyes following him with suspicion. Ignoring the sense of foreboding that gnawed at him, Jake took a seat at the counter and ordered a cup of coffee from the weary-looking waitress. As he waited, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong about Raven's Rest. His unease only grew when he overheard snippets of conversation from the locals in the corner booth. They spoke in hushed tones about disappearances and strange happenings in the town, their words sending a chill down Jake's spine. Suddenly the lights flickered and the diner was plunged into darkness. A collective gasp echoed through the room as Jake's heart pounded in his chest. When the lights came back on a moment later, the locals were gone, leaving behind only an ominous silence. Shaken but determined to shake off his unease, Jake finished his coffee and headed towards the restroom. But as he stepped inside, he was overcome by a sense of dread. The walls were covered in graffiti, strange symbols etched into the tiles, and the air was heavy with the stench of decay. As Jake hurriedly made his way back to the diner, he heard a blood-curdling scream pierce the night. Racing towards the source of the sound, he found himself in the gas station where he stumbled upon a grisly scene, a group of ravenous creatures feasting on the remains of the locals. Terrified, Jake turned to flee, but it was too late. The creatures had caught his scent, and they were hungry for more. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, Jake sprinted towards his rig, the sound of his pounding heart drowning out the roar of the approaching horde. With a desperate leap, Jake managed to reach the safety of his cab and slammed the door shut behind him. He gunned the engine and peeled out of Raven's Rest, leaving behind the nightmare that had consumed the truck stop and its unsuspecting victims. As he drove into the night, Jake couldn't shake the feeling of dread that lingered in the air. He knew that Raven's Rest was just the beginning, and that the horrors he had witnessed were only a taste of the darkness that lurked in the shadows of the highway. But one thing was certain: he would never forget the nightmare at Raven's Rest truck stop, a chilling reminder of the terrors that awaited those who dared to venture into the unknown. As Jake sped away from Raven's Rest truck stop, his heart raced with fear and adrenaline. The image of the grotesque creatures devouring their victims haunted his mind, sending shivers down his spine. He glanced nervously in his rearview mirror, half expecting to see the creatures chasing after him. But as the miles passed and the truck stop faded into the distance, Jake began to breathe a little easier. The rain continued to pour, washing away the remnants of the nightmare that had unfolded at Raven's Rest. Hours later, Jake finally arrived at his destination, a bustling city far removed from the desolation of the truck stop. But despite the bright lights and bustling streets, he couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered within him. The events of that fateful night had left a mark on Jake, a scar that would never fully heal. He knew that he would carry the memory of Raven's Rest with him for the rest of his days, a reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the edge of the highway. As he parked his rig and stepped out into the rain-soaked streets, Jake vowed to never return to Raven's Rest truck stop. But deep down he knew that the nightmare he had encountered there would continue to haunt him, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurked in the darkness of the night. Short story by Emma Shum.